Today, we're going to be diving into Tech Forecast 2025 to help everyone listening kind of get a better grasp of what's coming up in the tech world and what you can do to really boost your career.
Yeah.
Really make sure you're at the top of your game.
Right.
And let me tell you, this report has some pretty amazing stats in here.
Yeah.
Like, did you know that the average IT skill becomes obsolete in just 2.5 years?
That's right. And that number is actually shrinking faster than we expected.
Wow.
AI and automation are changing things so quickly that if you're not constantly learning and upskilling, you're already falling behind.
So how do we stay ahead of the curve then?
Well,
this report paints a pretty clear picture.
it does.
AI is going to be everywhere by 2025, impacting every corner of the tech world.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker.
Okay.
Less than 1 in 8 IT professionals have significant AI experience.
Yeah. It's a massive skills gap. Companies are rushing to implement AI, but they're struggling to find the expertise to actually make it work.
Right.
The report says a whopping 80% of AI projects fail.
Wow.
And the main culprits are lack of preparation, lack of knowledge, and just not having the right infrastructure.
So it's not just about adopting AI, it's about doing it right.
Exactly.
And for our listeners, that means opportunity is knocking.
Yeah.
Even if you're not an AI specialist.
Right.
Understanding how AI impacts your specific role is absolutely crucial.
Quick ask. Almost 95% of you watch our videos but still aren't subscribed. Please click subscribe. It really helps us grow. And if you're not loving our content, you can always change your mind. Thanks, and back to it.
Tech Forecast 2025 actually identifies 4 key roles that companies desperately need.
Okay.
They call them AI champions.
Okay.
Data champions, cybersecurity champions, and infrastructure champions.
Well, so it's like a whole...
Think of them as a specialized squad,
Okay.
each with a critical mission in making AI projects successful.
So if I'm like a data analyst,
Right.
I can become a data champion by focusing on data quality.
Exactly.
Because without good data, any AI project is going to totally crash and burn.
Exactly. Or if you're in cybersecurity, you could become a cybersecurity champion protecting AI systems from attacks.
Right.
These champion roles aren't just about technical skills, they're about understanding how your expertise fits into the larger AI puzzle.
This is starting to feel less overwhelming and more like a roadmap for success.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I want to jump on this AI agent trend.
Sure.
The report highlights something called LangChain, has like a really hot skill.
Yeah.
What is that in a nutshell?
Imagine having a super-powered assistant that can handle all your tedious tasks for you.
Wow.
That's what AI agents are all about.
Okay.
They can search the web, generate reports, monitor systems, all while you focus on the bigger picture.
Right.
LangChain is a Python framework that lets you build and customize these agents, making you incredibly efficient.
That's amazing.
It is.
It's like having a team of digital assistants working for you 24/7.
Right.
And LangChain is the key to unlocking that potential.
It is.
But be honest, how quickly can someone actually learn LangChain?
Well, the good news is that it's Python-based.
Yay.
A language that's known for being relatively easy to pick up, even for beginners.
Right.
There are tons of resources and online courses specifically focused on LangChain.
Right.
The demand for this skill is skyrocketing.
Yeah.
So even a basic understanding can give you a competitive advantage.
That's really good to know.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting into clubs,
Okay.
the report suggests that landing an entry-level software developer job will be much tougher in 2025.
It will.
Is this the end of the road for aspiring developers?
Hey, want our free AI dope top AI tools that we use? Chat below. It's our live Google Sheets packed with over 100 killer tools, video, music, photos, AI voices, productivity, script writing, YouTube hacks, captions, the works, always growing. Live Google Sheet, always free. AI, dope top AI tools that we use. Download and chat below. Back to the show.
Is this the end of the road for aspiring developers?
Not at all. It simply means that the bar is getting higher.
Okay.
AI is starting to handle some junior level tasks, so aspiring developers need to really stand out.
Right.
The report recommends aiming for skills on par with a working software engineer.
Okay.
Think building real-world projects, contributing to open source, and showcasing your problem-solving abilities.
So it's not just about coding anymore.
It's not.
It's about proving you can think creatively and go beyond what AI can do.
Exactly.
And that probably means soft skills like communication and collaboration are becoming even more important.
Absolutely. those skills are harder for AI to replicate,
Right.
which makes them incredibly valuable in the job market.
Of course.
The report stresses the importance of continuous learning, problem solving, and communication as key differentiators for developers.
It's interesting how the more AI advances, the more essential human skills become.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
So for those listening who are already in development roles, this is a great reminder to invest in those softer skills.
It is.
But now let's shift gears and talk about the cloud.
Okay.
There's been a lot of talk about cloud skills becoming obsolete.
Right.
But this report seems to disagree.
Yes, cloud skills are still very much in demand,
Okay.
but the landscape is changing rapidly.
Well, what's going on?
We're seeing a rise in hybrid and multi-cloud environments,
Okay.
which means you need to be comfortable working across different platforms, not just specializing in one. Right.
The report found that a whopping 85% of organizations have adopted multi-cloud strategies.
So it's like being a cloud chameleon,
Yeah.
able to blend seamlessly into any environment.
That's a good way to put it.
And the report specifically mentions something called Kubernetes as a key skill in this multi-cloud world.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
Kubernetes, often referred to as K8s, is becoming the go-to tool for managing containerized applications,
Okay.
which are the building blocks of modern cloud applications.
Okay.
It allows you to orchestrate and manage these applications across different cloud platforms,
Right.
making it essential for anyone working in a multi-cloud environment.
It sounds like learning Kubernetes is a must for anyone serious about a future in cloud computing.
I would agree with that.
And it's not just for cloud professionals in general.
Right.
The report predicts that Kubernetes will play a crucial role in managing AI and machine learning workloads.
That's right. As organizations increasingly rely on AI and ML, Kubernetes will become even more critical for deploying and managing these complex systems. So Kubernetes really is like a passport to the future of cloud computing,
Yeah,
especially with the rise of AI and ML.
it is.
But hold on, the report also hints at a potential shift back towards on-premise infrastructure for some AI projects.
Yeah.
Is the cloud losing its appeal?
It's not a mass exodus from the cloud,
Okay.
but rather a strategic recalibration.
Okay.
Some organizations have concerns about data security and the costs associated with cloud computing, leading them to consider bringing certain AI workloads back on-premise.
So it's not a cloud versus on-premise battle,
Right.
but rather a recognition that different solutions work best for different situations.
Exactly.
And for IT professionals, this means being prepared to manage a mix of cloud and on-premise environments.
Exactly. The future infrastructure is likely to be hybrid with a blend of cloud and on-premise solutions.
Okay.
IT professionals who can navigate this hybrid world, understanding the strengths and weaknesses of each approach, will be highly sought after.
That's a great insight for our listeners who are working in IT operations or infrastructure management.
Yeah.
Adaptability and a willingness to learn new technologies will be crucial for staying ahead of the curve.
Definitely.
Now let's talk about data.
Okay.
The report makes it clear that data strategy is crucial for AI success.
It is.
But how can data professionals ensure they are adding value in this AI-driven world?
Data professionals need to become champions for data quality.
Okay.
The success of any AI project hinges on having clean, accurate, and relevant data.
Right.
They are the gatekeepers of this valuable resource, and their role is becoming increasingly strategic.
So it's not just about collecting and managing data.
Right.
It's about ensuring that the data used to train and refine AI models is top-notch.
Exactly.
But in a world obsessed with the latest AI algorithms,
Yeah.
is good old SQL still relevant?
Absolutely. SQL is still the fundamental language for querying and manipulating data.
Okay.
It's widely used in both traditional systems and AI-driven applications.
So mastering SQL is still essential. And while technical skills are essential, the report also emphasizes the importance of other skills for data professionals.
Yeah. Yes. Skills like data visualization,
Okay.
critical thinking, and communication are becoming increasingly important.
Right.
Data professionals need to be able to explain their insights to stakeholders,
Right.
translate technical jargon into plain English, and present data in a compelling way.
So it's not just about being a data whiz. It's
Yeah.
about being a data storyteller,
That's a great way to put it.
weaving narratives from data that inform and inspire.
Exactly.
And with AI becoming more data hungry, the role of the data professional is only going to become more important.
That's right. Data professionals are no longer just number crunchers.
Right.
They're strategic advisors who help organizations unlock the value of their data.
That's a great takeaway for our listeners who are in data roles.
Yeah.
It's not just about technical skills, it's about being able to communicate, the value of data and how it can drive business decisions.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Cybersecurity in the age of AI.
Right.
The report paints a rather sobering picture of this landscape.
It does. The report predicts that cyber attacks will become more common and more sophisticated
Wow.
as AI lowers the barrier to entry for bad actors.
Oh, wow.
We're already seeing AI being used to automate attacks, create deepfakes, and exploit vulnerabilities in AI systems themselves.
It's like a digital arms race, with both attackers and defenders leveraging AI to gain an edge.
Exactly.
And as AI systems become more complex and interconnected, the attack surface expands, creating new challenges for cybersecurity professionals.
Exactly. The report stresses that threat intelligence is becoming increasingly crucial in this new landscape.
Right.
Organizations need to have proactive strategies for identifying and mitigating AI-powered threats.
So threat intelligence is like having a crystal ball that allows you to see into the future of cyber attacks,
Yeah,
anticipating threats before they materialize.
that's a good way to think about it.
But how do you actually get into that line of work?
Well,
Is it just for super techie people?
not necessarily.
Okay.
While technical skills are important, threat intelligence also requires strong analytical and research skills.
Okay.
You need to be able to sift through vast amounts of data, identify patterns, and connect the dots to understand the evolving threat landscape.
So it's a blend of technical expertise and good old-fashioned detective work.
Exactly.
And as AI becomes more intertwined with cybersecurity, the need for professionals with this unique skill set will only grow.
Absolutely. Cybersecurity professionals who can understand AI, anticipate AI-powered attacks, and develop strategies to defend against them will be highly sought after.
That's a valuable insight for our listeners who are interested in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
It's a field that's constantly evolving, and the rise of AI is only making it more challenging and more exciting.
It is.
Now let's talk about one specific type of AI-powered threat that's getting a lot of attention.
Okay.
Deepfakes.
Yeah.
What are they and why are they so concerning?
Deepfakes are AI-generated videos or audio recordings that can be incredibly convincing, making it difficult to distinguish between real and fake.
Wow.
They can be used for a wide range of malicious purposes, from spreading misinformation and manipulating elections to damaging reputations and extorting individuals.
It's a chilling thought that our digital identities can be so easily manipulated and weaponized.
It is.
And while there's emerging technology to detect deepfakes, it seems like it's a constant cat-and-mouse game between the creators and the detectors.
That's right. Cybersecurity professionals need to stay vigilant and informed about the latest deepfake techniques and countermeasures.
Right.
They also need to educate the public about the potential dangers of deepfakes and how to identify them.
It's a reminder that in the age of AI media, literacy and critical thinking skills are more important than ever.
Absolutely.
We can't just blindly trust everything we see or hear online.
We can't.
But deepfakes aren't the only internal threat organizations need to worry about, right?
No, they're not.
The report also talks about the risks of employees using AI tools without permission.
Exactly, as AI tools become more accessible. Employees might be tempted to use them to simplify their work or boost their productivity, even if those tools aren't officially sanctioned by their organization.
Right.
This can create security and compliance risks.
It's like the shadow IT phenomenon, but with AI.
Yeah.
Employees might download unauthorized AI apps or use unvetted AI-powered websites, potentially exposing sensitive data or violating company policies.
Yeah, it's a big concern.
What can organizations do to mitigate this risk?
The report suggests that a thoughtful AI use policy is more effective than an outright ban.
Okay.
Bans often drive AI use underground, making it harder to manage.
Right.
Instead, organizations should develop clear guidelines and provide employees with approved AI tools that meet their needs while ensuring security and compliance.
So it's about finding a balance between empowering employees to leverage AI and protecting the organization from potential risks.
Exactly.
So it's about enabling responsible AI use within a framework of clear policies and guidelines.
I agree. It's about recognizing that AI is a powerful tool that can be used for good or bad. Organizations need to be proactive in managing AI used to maximize its benefits while minimizing its risks.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into the cybersecurity landscape in the age of AI.
It has.
It's clear that this field is facing unprecedented challenges,
Yeah.
but it's also a time of great opportunity for those who are prepared to adapt and innovate.
The key takeaway is that cybersecurity professionals need to embrace AI as both a tool and a threat.
Right.
They need to understand how AI is being used by both attackers and defenders and develop strategies to leverage AI for good while mitigating its potential risks.
That's a great point to end on for this first part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground from the rise of AI agents to the evolving landscape of cybersecurity.
We have.
But there's still more to explore.
There is.
In part 2, we'll delve deeper into the report's insights on specific skills and strategies that you can use to future-proof your tech career.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Okay, so
We just scratched the surface of how AI is reshaping the tech landscape.
right.
And now we're going to kind of zoom in on what you can do to harness these trends
Okay.
and make 2025 your most successful year yet.
I love that this report doesn't just point out the trends.
Right.
It gives us actionable advice.
Yeah.
It's like having a career coach whispering in our ear.
Yeah.
Here's the playbook to win.
That's right.
And speaking of winning, remember how we talked about 80% of AI projects failing?
Right?
Well, that failure rate creates a huge demand for people who can make AI actually work.
Exactly. Companies are desperately searching for those AI champions, data champions, cybersecurity champions, and infrastructure champions.
Right.
These aren't just fancy titles.
Right.
They're the roles that bridge the gap between AI ambition and AI reality.
So if you're listening and thinking,
Right.
hold on, I'm not an AI expert,
Okay.
don't worry.
Yeah.
You don't need to be building the algorithms. You
Right.
need to be the person who understands how to apply them effectively within your field.
That's the key. If you're in data, showcase how clean, well-structured data fuels successful AI.
Right.
If you're in cybersecurity, emphasize how you protect AI systems from attacks.
Okay.
The report provides a roadmap for positioning yourself as an indispensable asset regardless of your current role.
So let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
We talked about LangChain being a hot skill for building AI agents.
Yeah.
For someone who's completely new to this, what's the fastest way to get up to speed?
LangChain is built on Python.
Okay.
So a solid Python foundation is a must.
Okay.
Luckily, Python is known for being beginner-friendly,
Right.
even if you've never coded before.
Right.
Once you're comfortable with Python, there are tons of online resources and courses specifically for LangChain.
Okay.
The demand for these skills is through the roof.
Yeah.
So even a basic understanding can give you a leg up.
So LangChain is like the secret handshake to get into the AI agent club.
Yeah.
And Python is your ticket to the door.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on the fact that getting an entry-level software developer job will be tougher in 2025.
It will.
Does that mean aspiring developers should just give up?
Not at all.
Okay.
It just means you need to be strategic and work smarter.
Okay.
AI is starting to take over some basic tasks, so new developers need to show they have more to offer.
Right.
The report recommends aiming for skills comparable to a working software engineer.
Okay.
Build real-world projects, contribute to open source code, and showcase your problem-solving skills.
So it's not just about writing code anymore.
Right.
You need to show you can think creatively and solve problems in ways that AI can't.
Exactly.
And this probably means soft skills like being able to communicate and work well in teams are more important than ever.
You nailed it. Those are the skills that are really hard for AI to replicate, making them even more valuable.
Right.
The report keeps hammering this point. Communication, continuous learning, and problem solving are what set you apart in the job market.
It's funny how the more powerful AI gets, the more important those human skills become.
Right.
It really is.
Okay, let's talk about the cloud.
Okay.
There's been a lot of chatter about cloud skills becoming obsolete, but this report seems to think otherwise.
Right.
What's the real story?
Cloud skills are hotter than ever,
Okay.
but the terrain is changing.
In what way?
Hybrid and multi-cloud environments are becoming the norm.
Okay.
You can't just be an expert in one platform anymore.
Right.
You need to be comfortable navigating different clouds like AWS and Azure.
So it's like being a cloud chameleon, blending seamlessly into any environment.
You got it.
And the report specifically calls out Kubernetes as a must-have skill in this multi-cloud world.
Yeah. Kubernetes, or K8s for short,
Okay.
is all about managing containerized applications.
Oh.
Think of containers as lightweight packages of software.
Okay.
Kubernetes lets you orchestrate and manage these containers across different cloud platforms,
Right.
making it essential for anyone working with multiple clouds.
So learning Kubernetes is like getting a passport to the future of cloud computing.
And it's not just for general cloud professionals, right? The report says Kubernetes will be crucial for managing those AI and machine learning systems we keep talking about.
Exactly. As organizations become more reliant on AI and machine learning, They need a way to manage those complex workloads.
Right.
That's where Kubernetes comes in. It's the tool of choice for deploying and managing these systems, and its importance is only going to grow.
So for our listeners who are looking to level up their cloud skills, Kubernetes is a safe bet.
I would agree.
But hold on, the report also mentions a potential shift back towards on-premise infrastructure for some AI projects.
Right.
Is the cloud losing its shine?
Not exactly. It's more of a strategic adjustment.
Okay.
Some organizations are concerned about data security in the cloud, or the costs can be a factor.
Right.
So they're thinking about bringing some AI workloads back in-house.
So it's not a cloud versus on-premise battle,
It's not.
but a recognition that different approaches work best for different situations.
Yeah.
For IT professionals, this means being comfortable managing a mix of cloud and on-premise environments.
You got it. The future of infrastructure is likely to be hybrid,
Okay.
with a blend of cloud and on-premise solutions.
Well,
IT professionals who can navigate both worlds.
right.
Understanding the strengths and weaknesses of each approach will be in high demand.
That's great advice for anyone working in IT operations or infrastructure management.
It is.
Now let's dive back into the world of data.
Okay.
The report emphasizes that data strategy is key for AI success,
It is.
but it's easy to feel lost in the hype.
Right.
How can data professionals make sure they're truly adding value in this AI-driven world?
Data professionals need to step up and become champions for data quality.
Okay.
Remember, the success of any AI project hinges on having clean, accurate, and relevant data.
Right.
They're the gatekeepers of this valuable resource, and their role is becoming more and more strategic.
It's not just about collecting and managing data anymore. It's about ensuring that the data used to train and refine AI models is top-notch.
Exactly.
But in a world obsessed with the latest AI algorithms, is good old SQL still relevant?
Absolutely. SQL is still the bread and butter of data work.
Okay.
It's the language for querying and manipulating data, and it's widely used in both traditional and AI-driven systems.
So mastering SQL is like having a Swiss Army knife for data essential no matter what kind of data work you're doing.
It is.
But data work isn't just about technical skills, right?
You're right. The technical side is only part of the equation.
Yeah. So what else is important?
Data visualization, critical thinking, and communication are becoming even more important.
Oh,
Data professionals need to be able to explain their insights to non-technical folks,
right.
translate jargon into plain English, and present data in a compelling way.
So it's not enough to be a data whiz.
Right.
You have to be a data storyteller.
Yeah.
You need to be able to weave narratives from data that inform and inspire. And as AI becomes more data hungry, that storytelling ability is only going to become more crucial.
Exactly. Data professionals are becoming strategic advisors,
Okay.
helping organizations understand and leverage the power of their data. They're key players in the AI revolution.
So for our data-minded listeners, the message is clear.
Yeah.
Sharpen those technical skills.
Yeah.
But don't neglect the art of storytelling and communication.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about cybersecurity in the age of AI.
Okay.
The report doesn't sugarcoat things.
It doesn't.
It paints a pretty intense picture.
It's true. The report predicts that cyber attacks will become more frequent and more sophisticated,
Wow.
in part because AI is lowering the barrier to entry for bad actors.
Oh, wow.
We're already seeing AI used to automate attacks, create deepfakes,
Right.
and exploit vulnerabilities in AI systems themselves.
Like a digital arms race,
It is.
with both attackers and defenders using AI to try and outmaneuver each other. And as these systems become more complex and interconnected, the potential attack surface keeps expanding, creating new challenges for security professionals.
Exactly. The report stresses that threat intelligence is becoming absolutely mission critical.
Right.
Organizations need proactive strategies to identify and mitigate these AI-powered attacks.
So threat intelligence is like having a crystal ball that shows you the future of cyber attacks, helping you anticipate threats before they happen.
Right.
But how does someone even get into that line of work?
Well,
Is it just for the super techie folks?
not at all.
Okay.
While technical skills are important,
Right.
threat intelligence also requires strong analytical and research skills. Think of it like being a detective in the digital world.
Okay.
You need to be able to sift through mountains of data,
Right.
identify patterns, connect the dots,
Right.
and build a picture of the evolving threat landscape.
So it's a combination of technical expertise and good old-fashioned detective work. And as AI becomes more intertwined with cybersecurity, the need for professionals who can combine those skills will only grow.
Absolutely. Cybersecurity professionals who can understand AI, anticipate AI-powered attacks,
Right.
and develop strategies to defend against them will be in high demand.
That's a great insight for our listeners who are interested in cybersecurity.
It is.
It's a field that's constantly evolving, and the rise of AI is making it both more challenging and more exciting.
Very much so.
Now let's focus on one specific type of AI-powered threat that's been making headlines.
Okay.
Deepfakes.
Yeah.
What are they and why are they so concerning?
Deepfakes are AI-generated videos or audio recordings that can be incredibly convincing,
Okay.
blurring the lines between real and fake.
Wow.
They can be used for a range of malicious purposes, from spreading misinformation and manipulating elections to damaging reputations and extorting individuals.
It's scary to think about how easily our digital identities can be manipulated and used against us. And even though technology to detect deepfakes is emerging, it feels like a constant cat and mouse game between the creators and the detectors.
You're right, it's an ongoing battle.
So how do we deal with that?
Cybersecurity professionals need to stay vigilant and informed about the latest deepfake techniques and countermeasures.
Okay.
But it's not just about technical solutions, it's also about educating the public about the dangers of deepfakes and how to spot them.
It's a reminder that in the age of AI, media, literacy, and critical thinking are more important than ever.
They are.
We can't blindly trust everything we see or hear online.
Absolutely not.
Deepfakes aren't the only internal threat organizations need to worry about, right?
That's right.
The report also talks about the risks of employees using AI tools without authorization.
That's right. As AI tools become more accessible, employees might be tempted to use them to simplify their work or boost their productivity.
Yeah.
Even if those tools aren't officially approved by their organizations,
Right.
this can create security and compliance nightmares.
So it's like shadow IT, but with AI.
Yeah.
Employees might download unauthorized AI apps or use unvetted AI-powered websites,
Right.
potentially exposing sensitive data or violating company policies.
Exactly.
What can organizations do to get a handle on this?
The report suggests that a thoughtful AI use policy is more effective than trying to ban AI altogether.
Okay.
Bans often just drive AI use underground,
Right.
making it harder to manage. Instead, organizations should develop clear guidelines and provide employees with approved AI tools that meet their needs while ensuring security and compliance.
So it's about finding a balance between empowering employees to use AI effectively and protecting the organization from potential risks.
Exactly.
It's about enabling responsible AI use within a framework of clear policies and guidelines.
That's the key. We need to recognize that AI is a powerful tool that can be used for good or bad.
Right.
Organizations need to be proactive in managing AI use to maximize its benefits while minimizing its risks.
This has been a really eye-opening look at the cybersecurity landscape in the age of AI.
It really has.
It's clearly a field facing some intense challenges,
Definitely.
but there's also incredible opportunity for those who are ready to adapt and innovate.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Cybersecurity professionals who can embrace AI as both a tool and a threat,
Right.
understanding how it's being used on both sides of the equation, are the ones who will thrive.
Yeah.
They need to develop strategies to leverage AI for good while mitigating its potential risks.
Absolutely.
Now, in this second part of our deep dive, we've talked a lot about skills and strategies for navigating the evolving tech world.
We have.
But the Tech Forecast 2025 report goes even deeper,
It does.
diving into specific technologies and tools that are shaping the future.
Right.
So in our final part, we're going to roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty of what's to come.
Sounds good.
You won't want to miss it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Welcome back to the deep dive. In the first two parts, we talked about how AI is really shaking things up in the tech world
Yeah.
and what you can do to really stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty
Oh,
with some of the technologies that are really driving the future of tech,
let's do it.
as outlined in the Tech Forecast 2025 report.
Okay.
It's one thing to talk about the trends,
Yeah.
but it's a whole nother thing to see the tools and the technologies
Yeah.
that are really making those trends a reality.
Exactly.
So in this final part, we're going to zoom in on some of those real game changers.
Yeah.
One of the things that jumped out at me in the report
Okay.
is this thing called Agentic R.
Yeah.
Can you explain that in plain English?
So remember how we talked about AI agents being like super powered assistants that can automate tasks.
Right.
Well, Agentic RR takes that to a whole new level.
Okay, you've got my attention. Tell me more.
Okay, so think of a regular AI agent as having a set of instructions
Okay.
and a limited amount of information.
Okay.
It can follow those instructions and complete tasks.
Right.
But it can't really go beyond that. Agentic RAG, on the other hand, can actually search external data sources
Wow.
to enhance its knowledge and capabilities.
Of learning.
It's like giving an AI agent a library card to the entire internet.
That's incredible.
It is.
What does that mean for businesses and individuals who want to, kind of stay ahead of the curve?
Well, the report predicts that organizations will be aggressively seeking out specialists who can build and implement agentic RG systems.
Okay.
These systems have the potential to revolutionize how we work, allowing AI agents to handle increasingly complex and nuanced tasks.
That sounds like a really big deal.
It is.
So agentic RAG is definitely something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
But the report also mentions a shift towards smaller language models.
Yes.
Or SLMs.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot about those large language models, like ChatGPT.
Right.
So why the move towards smaller models?
Well, large language models are incredibly powerful.
Okay.
But they have some drawbacks.
Such as?
They're computationally expensive to train and deploy, requiring massive amounts of data and processing power.
Right.
That can be a barrier for organizations that don't have those kinds of resources.
So it's about efficiency and accessibility.
Exactly.
Smaller models might not be as powerful,
Right.
but they're easier to manage and more cost-effective for many organizations.
Absolutely. And smaller models also have an advantage when it comes to deploying AI on edge devices,
Okay.
like smartphones or IoT sensors.
Okay.
These devices often have limited processing power and memory, making it challenging to run those resource-intensive large language models.
It's like trying to fit a giant sequoia tree into a tiny flower pot.
Exactly.
Smaller models are more adaptable to those kinds of environments.
Absolutely.
So there are some real advantages there.
There are.
And another benefit that you mentioned of those smaller models
Yeah.
is that they can be fine-tuned for specific tasks,
Right.
making them more efficient and accurate for those particular jobs.
Exactly.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all.
It's not.
It's about choosing the right tool for the job.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like the report sees a pretty big future for these SLMs.
It does.
Now, the report also talks about some specific platforms like AWS Bedrock.
Yes.
What's so exciting about that?
So AWS Bedrock is a fully managed service that lets you build and deploy generative AI applications
Okay.
using the power of the cloud.
Okay.
It provides access to a variety of pre-trained foundation models,
Okay.
making it easier for organizations to get started with AI, even if they don't have a lot of in-house expertise.
It's like a one-stop shop for AI building blocks.
Exactly.
Organizations can just pick and choose the models that best fit their needs
Right.
and use them to create, custom AI applications.
Exactly. And here's the kicker.
Okay.
AWS Bedrock also supports Agentic RAG,
Oh, wow.
which means organizations can leverage this platform to build even more powerful and versatile AI agents.
So we've got these smaller, more efficient language models.
Right.
And powerful new platforms like AWS Bedrock
Yeah.
that are making it easier for organizations of all sizes to harness the power of AI,
Exactly.
including that game-changing agentic RSHit technology.
Absolutely.
It really is an exciting time to be in the tech world.
It is.
And if you want another AI dope deep dive, check this next video and ask yourself, how lucky are we to live in these AI dope times?